Yes, we had successfully completed the circuit around Huascarán. So, both mentally and physically, we felt well prepared for our next destination, Cordillera Huayhuash. Starting in Yungay, we first took a taxi to Katak. From there, we cycled to Huallanca via Pastoruri Glacier, and afterwards had to cross the Cordillera Huayhuash on our way to Oyon. 13 days left and just 240 kilometers of riding. That sounded like a piece of cake. What was not relaxing was the car ride to Katak. I think traffic is one of the greatest dangers in Peru. Hardly to deny when you have a look beside the road. Well, we wanted to go back to the mountains. But before doing so, we spent 2 days in Katak for mostly eating.
Letztes Tortilla. Ich glaube, ich habe in den letzten 10 Tagen ungefähr 30 Eier gegessen. Das ist ein typisches peruanisches Frühstück. Ordentliche Zwiebeln.
Und Pommes mal wieder.
Bei mir gibt es Schnitzel. Mit Mayo.
Schnitzel, mayonnaise and a big amount of onions. It's hard to be better prepared when you want to climb a mountain of 5,000 meters.
So, jetzt geht's los auf unseren Huayhuash Loop.
Genau, aber erstmal hoch zum Pastoruri Gletscher.
Genau, heute geht's nicht ganz so weit, weil wir müssen nach schlafen können. Wieder mal. Also so 13 Kilometer stehen heute an.
Ja.
Aber dafür nur bergauf.
Auf 4.100 Meter wollen wir schlafen heute.
Finally, we were back in the mountains. Sunshine, tailwind. The day was great and the mood was excellent.
Oh, oh! Oh, oh!
Well, the tailwinds were just temporary. And the weather as well.
So, wir sind jetzt am Checkpoint zum Huascarán Nationalpark wieder. Und es ist wieder muy frío. Wir haben jedenfalls nicht das allerbeste Glück mit dem Bergwetter. Jetzt sollen wir erstmal Picknick hier an der Kontrollstation und warten, dass das Gewitter abzieht.
I have to admit that there haven't been many summer holidays in my life yet, with such a small amount of sweat. The usual temperatures were from cold to very cold. To warm up, we had some coca tea. Coca tea in the rain. You couldn't imagine anything more comfortable. Sometime later, we holed up to the tent. A big mistake.
Es ist 18:30 Uhr. Wir liegen jetzt schon im Zelt, weil es seit einer Stunde ungefähr regnet. Und das Problem ist, wir haben noch nicht zu Abend gegessen und keiner hat Bock, jetzt mehr rauszugehen und noch zu kochen. Was machen wir jetzt?
Entweder die Nacht hungern oder einer muss sich opfern.
Okay, wer hält zuletzt den Finger auf der Nase?
It doesn't get any better than waiting 20 minutes for the noodles to get ready. In strong rain and 2 degrees.
Hast du auch so kalte Hände?
Ja.
Blue sky and freezing cold. Surely not a day for sleeping late. But not due to the cold. When you don't hurry to remove the top before the first sun rays appear, you will soon get the feeling of sleeping in a dripstone cave.
Heute müssen wir erstmal kratzen vorm Losfahren.
Today we should reach the highest point of our trip, the Pastoruri Glacier. 5,000 meters high.
Wenn man sich das Höhenprofil mal so anguckt, also die nächsten 40 Kilometer sind wir auf jeden Fall über der aktuellen Höhe, 4.300 Meter. Huiuiui.
When I awake from my sleep and look out on the sun shining. I feel a smile across my face when I look out at the horizon. The sun, it warms the earth each day. We can see from the light provided, whether you walk in the street or till in the field. Be content with the time you're allotted.
We both had a strong day. Maybe the reason was all this healthy food we had.
Caramelo.
Die Karamellodichte wird auf jeden Fall hier höher. Grad. Die Pausendichte auch. Die Luftdichte dafür eher dünner.
Indeed, it was a well-planned strategy to eat nothing more than candies while riding uphill.
So, heute geht schon viel besser. Wir haben unsere Essensstrategie geändert. Wir essen jetzt nur noch Toffees und Schokoriegel, solange wir bergauf fahren. Denn wenn der Körper irgendwas zu tun hat, außer Fahrradfahren, sowas wie Verdauung, geht halt gar nichts mehr. Aber so, ja, die Luft ist dünn, aber wenigstens hat man nicht das Gefühl, man stirbt gerade.
The Big Ben candy strategy. Besides, preferred in the flavor rum, nuts and raisin, helped us to reach the Pastoruri Glacier.
Wir haben es geschafft. Hier oben gibt's Suppe.
Hot soup. What a joy. At least until you question the rinse water.
Ich habe meine Jacke hier.
There were 150 meters of climbing left to reach the glacier.
So, Projekt 5000 Meter gestartet. Heute ist der Powertag. Ganz schön reger Betrieb hier oben.
The last meters to the top were tough. But
Und Sie durchbrechen die 5000 Meter Marke. Chaka! 5000 Meter! Einfach nur krass mit dem Fahrrad.
Yes.
Mega. Und wir können sogar noch atmen, einigermaßen. Nur die Beine sind Pudding. Oh, Hammer. Euphorie. Großartig. 5001 Meter hoch. Das ist der Beweis.
okay, I have to admit, we had to stretch the arm a little bit.
At your right, drink up the milk of human kindness. For we all have so much love to give. From all the love we've been given, the beauty we can see in all the colors in the trees is enough to make me thankful to be living.
So, letzte Kuppe für heute. Da kommt auch was.
Eine Quälerei. 1,25 km/h.
Jacob has called it the last bump for today. However, looking at the altitude profile, it is apparent that this was not just a bump, but rather a 20-kilometer long sawtooth mountain. But we had to cross it, since we didn't want to sleep 4,800 meters high.
Jetzt ziehen wir nochmal die volle Dröhnung hier. Bisschen wie Graupelschauer.
Sometime later, we reached the top. Well, at least I thought that we had reached the top.
Freut man sich mal auf eine schöne Abfahrt. Was ist? Voll am Hageln.
What I didn't know at that time is that there wasn't a real downhill. We had to pass the 4,800 meters line for another 5 times.
Ich habe gehört, in Deutschland sind 40 Grad.
We were put under time pressure.
Ja.
We don't have any videos from the next 3 hours. We had to ride downhill with our flashlights in the dark and in pouring rain. We couldn't camp because we felt unsafe and didn't have any water. 35 kilometers later we reached Huayhuash, totally frozen, wet and hungry. Just eating, having a shower, sleeping. That was the plan. But the plan was thwarted by Fiestas Patrias. Fiestas Patrias is the Peruvian Independence Day. The way to celebrate it is similar to Carnival in Cologne. The problem? Finding a room is nearly as impossible as it is when it's Carnival in Cologne.
Wir haben echt ein Händchen hier für Highlights aus Peru.
Aber jetzt hoffe ich erstmal, was frittiert ist.
Jakob hat Hunger. Das wird langsam kritisch.
Usually we wanted to be careful with things we eat. But hunger and the smell of fried stuff in the air made us forget about our principles. Good luck that we found a room later. I was sick and it got worse from hour to hour. We had to stay in Huayhuash for 3 days with 2 different kind of views. This was the boring one, but the other one I won't show. I just wanted to sleep. But again, Fiestas Patrias. The parade has walked around our hotel for at least 200 times a day.
Nahrungsaufnahme kann ich wenigstens wieder Essen riechen, ohne dass mir gleich schlecht wird.
Jacob had bought some crackers, just to make me eat anything. The crackers were the driest I had ever seen. You could even use them to dehumidify the air. On the second day, Jacob has shown solidarity and joined the diarrhea with vomiting. So we took turns at the toilets, with music in the background till 4 o'clock at night.
Tag 3 in Huayhuash. Wir sind halbwegs wiederhergestellt. Und jetzt gleich fahren wir endlich mal los Richtung Huayhuash. So, wir haben eingekauft für den Huayhuash. 5 bis 7 Tage werden wir da jetzt nichts kriegen. Wir hoffen, das reicht.
For sure, the most risky calculation was the toilet paper. To be honest, it wasn't an easy decision to start the project Huayhuash. There were 6 days left. The traverse consisted of 5 passes on a stretch of just 70 kilometers, which means we would have to ride 1 pass and 10 to 15 kilometers a day. But completely on trails above the 4,000 meters line. Besides that, no possibility to supply, no mobile coverage, no medicines or pharmacies. Yes, of course you think of your health and of the risks a trip like that involves. On our way to the Huayhuash, the first riding day was a test day for our bodies. If we hadn't felt well, we would have turned around.
Buenas tardes. ¿A dónde? Huayhuash. Sí.
Our bodies were stricken, but food and water remained inside. So we decided to go on.
It's what I've been telling you. Oh, you'd learn what I mean if you came. But the risk, are you willing to take?
this point, I want to quote Jacob, who said, 10 kilometers a day? That happens only if it's necessary to cut our way through the underbrush. I'm not sure if it's evidence for or against his theory that at lunch break we had been ridden exactly 5.8 kilometers.
Wir sind gerade etwas erschöpft. 5,8 Kilometer vom Zeltplatz entfernt. Wir haben gerade schon zum Mittag gegessen und liegen hier faul in der Wiese. Es ist irgendwie anstrengend. Die ganze Zeit nur am Schieben.
In addition, we went off track several times.
Ja, see. Ja, ganz unten wäre der Trail gegangen.
Yes, the progress on the route was tough and slow. But after the pass we could finally say, hello, Huayhuash.
Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood, but life can be this good. I would launch 1,000 ships just to be about your lips. Tell them all to sail away, just to see you every day. Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood, but life can be this good.
A really cold night. When we got up, we had 5 degrees below freezing point, inside the tent. But what an amazing scenery! The sun brought warmth and energy, so we could start riding. At least for around 300 meters.
So, ist wieder der perfekte Wanderurlaub mit Fahrrad. Ich frage mich, warum ich überhaupt eine Fahrradhose anhab. Es geht ordentlich bergauf. Wir müssen jetzt 400 Höhenmeter überwinden bis auf 4650 Meter ungefähr. Und dann geht es hoffentlich fahrbar schön auf einem schönen Trail bergab ins nächste Tal.
One thing I can tell you, if I will ever go to the Huayhuash again by bicycle, I will be better prepared, by at least half a year of deadlifting. To compensate for my more or less weak muscles in the shoulders, I tried a new strategy which uses more my legs, with the result that I had lots of bruises afterwards. It was really hard. In the uphills, there were not many sections where it was possible to ride. Neither it was very steep, nor technically demanding. But at this high altitude, you have the feeling as if someone has implanted the heart of a hummingbird. If you have to power for just some seconds, you immediately feel like your heart is exploding.
Ist nicht so gut Bonbon essen und hochfahren, ne? Gleichzeitig.
Yes, it took some time again until we reached the pass. But we were rewarded by a super cool mountain bikepacking downhill. That was fun. As it wasn't realistic to get over another pass today, and as we wanted to sleep as low as possible, we decided to stay at an official camp of the Huayhuash trek.
So, heute nach 10 Kilometern sind wir einfach mal hier gelandet.
Endlich mal Urlaub.
Und machen mal ein bisschen Urlaub. Was ein Spot. Irgendwie sind hier aber alle zu Fuß unterwegs. Auf die Idee, mit dem Fahrrad hier durchzufahren, kommt wohl keiner.
I have the feeling that here and there was rumored if we were crazy.
Is enough to make me thankful to be living. When I lay down my head to sleep, a full day's time behind me. I'm so thankful for the people and the beauty that I see. I can't help myself to keep from smiling. I can't help myself to keep from smiling.
Was ein traumhafter Morgen, würde ich mal sagen.
1A ist das hier.
Willkommen im Paradies.
Da sind wir. Darüber. Da geht's zickel-zackel rauf. Steil wie Sau. Hier hinten wird's flacher. Naja. Ein bisschen Trageeinheit wird wohl dabei sein.
Bisschen.
When even Jacob says steep as hell, it would probably be a very hard day. I was sure that meant to carry the bikes over the rocks again. So I tried a new strategy, consisting of 2 steps. Step 1. To make my bike lighter, I removed some of the bikepacking bags from my bike and tied it to my backpack. Step 2. Swap the backpack with Jacob.
Come on! Yeah! Here we go! Yeah! 1, 2, 3, 4! Come on! Let's go!
I had tried to pull myself together for a pretty long time. But after 4 hours of hike a bike, I was really fed up.
Was meinst du zu dem Ding hier?
And 1 kilometer of pushing meant 2 hours of pushing. After in total 6 hours of pushing and further around 28 ups and downs, we finally reached the downhill. I was dead. Usually, riding downhill should be at least a little bit recovering. But not in the Huayhuash. The downhill was pretty steep, and as tired as I was, I had problems just to keep my bike under control. But support was in sight.
Hola, hola. ¿Qué tal? Du schnappst dir das Pferd, okay?
First we thought the horse was afraid of us. But behind every corner, there it was again, waiting for us.
Komm, Pferd, zeig uns den Weg.
I had never thought before that one day I would build a special relationship to a horse. But when the horse even appeared the next morning and trotted next to us, I was nearly moved to tears.
Checkst du gerade das Höhenprofil?
Ja.
Sieht nicht gut aus, ne?
Ja, das letzte Stück ist nochmal steil.
Ja, Staub. Steil und ausgesetzt. Ein bisschen verblockt.
Es gibt nochmal eine Trageeinheit, glaube ich. Statt eine Schiebeeinheit.
We could only take it with humor.
Oh, Mann.
By now, we were used to our daily routine. We get up in the morning, we have breakfast, we push uphill for 4 to 6 hours, we ride or push downhill for around 2 hours, and finally, at the end of the day, which means after around 10 kilometers, we pitched up the tent.
12 Uhr Mittag und sind fast oben. Wunderbar.
To celebrate the summit moments, we still had some goodies with us.
Es gibt wenige Lebensmittel, die ihre natürliche Form noch erhalten haben. Nach 5 Tagen.
Kleiner Tipp, das ist ein Kuchen.
Nein, es sind 3 Kuchen. Was sind das denn für Flatschen?
1, 2.
Oh, der untere sieht noch am besten aus.
Ja, den kriegst du.
Yes, even our deformed supplies were running out. Good luck that there was only one pass left. One pass and a night in a tent at 4,500 meters above sea level. One night in total isolation in the middle of the Andes. It was amazing.
3,000 miles from home, trying to say that I will get there soon. 30 days I walk down this way, singing my madness to the moon. I met a cat on a tree, and it talked to me about things we don't see. I asked it, how do I know which is the right way to go to get me home? And it said, don't look for a reason, don't look for another way, 'cause anyway we'll get you home. You can't get lost if you don't know where you go, and anyway we'll get you home. Is the right way, they say, if you just go your way home. No, you aren't lost, just go and trust yourself.
We thought we had already defeated the boss, but the worst was yet to come.
Sowas nennt sich dann Endgegner.
1.5 hours later.
So, heute letzter Pass für den Urlaub. Letzte Kurve. Letzte Power. Kein Saft mehr. Einmal noch hoch auf 4800.
I couldn't go on.
Endgegner.
I really couldn't. For sure, it was the 6th day in a row that we were at our physical limits. And yes, of course, I suffered from the high altitude. But, to be honest, I've had a different vision of our last day. I was so exhausted, and I've never fought that much before.
Geschafft.
There are moments in your life where you don't know whether to laugh or to cry.
Super schöne Sicht.
Finally, only downhill. On a trail you could nearly call a road.
Is the right way, they say, if you just go your way. Oh, no, you aren't lost, just go and trust yourself. And maybe tonight we're not getting home. And maybe I don't know where I wanna go. Maybe tonight we'll knock on the wrong door. And maybe tonight we'll sleep on the floor.
We made it. Yes, yes, yes. We made it.
I'm already home. This is right. I don't have to know where I wanna go, 'cause this way is my home.
The last day. It was time to improve the result a little bit.
So, da denkt man nicht, dass es hier um Radfahren geht. Wahnsinnige Kilometerleistung und wahnsinnige Durchschnittsgeschwindigkeiten. Heute werden wir das Ganze ein bisschen noch pushen. So, wir starten unseren letzten Radfahrtag.
Heute mal tatsächlich Radfahren hoffentlich.
Ja, das Beste ist, wir werden heute auf jeden Fall fahren. Ich werde heute keinen Meter schieben, außer hier über diesen Fluss noch rüber. Da hinten geht es steil hoch, aber mir ist es total egal. Ich werde auf jeden Fall fahren.
And so we started riding the very last 20 kilometers of our journey. We already imagined what would be the first thing to do when we would arrive in Oyon. And surprisingly, it was a lot about eating.
Endlich wieder nicht rationieren. Ein Traum.
Binge eating of a new dimension.
Wir gucken jetzt mal nicht genauer in diese Tüte rein.
Wir sind zum Abendessen.
I don't know how many times Jacob had dinner that night. Right now, we recognized how haggard we were. With mixed feelings, we can look back on our journey. We had recognized that suffering and happiness can be quite close to each other. We've made it, but we've also learned that your body has its limits. We have to admit that the burdens were too high, despite the incredible beauty the Huayhuash had offered. Would we do this again? The answer is yes, but never ever with a bicycle.